The past exists only as a memory, and memory is purely psychological. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to What's the Point? In this episode, we're going to continue where we left off in the last episode with Sadhguru's book Inner Engineering. If you haven't seen episode 1, please check it out and then come back here. Think about this now. Whatever we don't want to take responsibility for in life, we call it destiny. Now, while this is a very convenient word, it's very disempowering and it takes away your power. You can't do anything about it because it's destiny. Most people today live in reaction to situations they're placed in. They don't actively create these situations. The thing is, to mold situations the way you want them, you need to first understand what you want. You need to understand who you are. And the issue is that most of us, including myself, we don't know who we are. Everything that you define as yourself right now is just things you've gathered in life. Your habits, your tendencies, the way you look, all of this is things you've gathered and accumulated in the course of your life. You're trying to live life through what you've gathered, not who you are. What you consider your body is everything that you've gained through ingestion, through food, all the food you've eaten. What you consider your mind is everything that you've gathered through your 5 senses. Beyond your body and your mind is who you are. If you care enough and make enough effort to understand the nature of life within you, you can completely change the way it happens. For example, we're technically wingless, right? Where we should not be able to fly. But by understanding the laws of nature, we built a plane and now we can fly. We didn't break the laws of nature, we understood them. Similarly, the technology explored in this book is how we work. The book says that if you have mastery over your body, you have 15 to 20% control over your life. If you have mastery over your mind, you have up to 60% control of your life. And if you have mastery over your life energy, then you have 100% control of your life. But we'll get there when we get there. All the unpleasantness that's happening within your life, be it anger, fear, anxiety, is happening, all of this is happening within you only because they're doing their own thing. They're not taking instruction from you right now. If your mind and your body exist to serve you, why is it that you are enslaved by your body and your mind? Isn't that the complete opposite of how life should be functioning? When this book talks about taking destiny into your own hands or whatever, it's not saying that life is 100% going to happen your way, because that is never going to happen. Creating your own destiny doesn't mean fixing the whole world around you. It means steadily heading towards your own well-being and your own peace, regardless, no matter of what is happening in the world. The book says this very powerful thing that it doesn't matter who you are. Unless you do the right things won't happen to you. See, the thing is that life is very non-judgmental. Whether you're a good person or a bad person, if you do the right things, only then will the right things happen to you. The book then asks a rather pervasive, touchy question that who is responsible for your life? Who is responsible for the way you are today? Is it your genes? Is it your parents? Is it your boyfriend, girlfriend, God? When this question is asked to people, we immediately resort to the blame game. Like we say, oh, when I was a kid, da da da. It's all about understanding the meaning of the word responsibility. It does not mean taking on the burdens of the world. It does not mean taking blame for things you've not done. Responsibility is nothing but the ability to respond. If you decide today that I am responsible for something, you have the ability to respond to it. If you decide I am not responsible, you don't even have the choice to respond to it. So all that is required is for us to realize that we are responsible for everything that we are and for everything that we're not. Don't get me wrong, this is not some mind game or like self-help strategy. It's just facts. Without you breathing in the oxygen that the trees give out, you wouldn't be alive. Your physical body is constantly responding to the universe. What has to change is that your thoughts and emotions also need to be conscious of this fact. Once we realize that only we're responsible, we have the freedom to create our life exactly the way we want to. Now, a lot of people believe that responsibility means less freedom, like it's compromising on your freedom. But it's the exact opposite. Responsibility actually means freedom. Let's say, for example, a pen falls right now. If I'm responsible for the pen, I can choose to pick it up. I can choose to leave it there. I can choose to tell someone else to pick it up. I can pick it up after some time. I can do whatever I want. But if I'm not responsible to it, if I'm not responsible for it, then there's nothing I can do. Responsibility is not action. Responsibility is the freedom to act or the freedom to not act if you don't want. So in real life, the more responsibility you have, the more freedom you have. It essentially gives you control of your life. Normally, our first reaction to something bad that happens is anger. We get angry. This book doesn't say that you shouldn't lose your temper because it's wrong. If you want to lose your temper, if that is your choice, if losing your temper is a pleasant experience for you, then by all means, go ahead and lose your temper. But the point is that it's unpleasant for you, and even for those people at the receiving end. This book also says that a lot of people carry their complaints like a badge of identity. They go on and on about all the terrible things that have happened to them, all the injustices that have happened to them. Maybe these things are even true. But what people forget is that the past exists only as a memory, and memory is purely psychological. It has no objective existence today. If you retain your ability to respond, then your memory becomes something that empowers you. If you choose to be reactive, then your memory is something that distorts the way you see reality because you're clouded by whatever happened in the past. And your emotions and your thoughts are all influenced by the past and things that happened before. I'll give you all a very personal example. I did not have the best fashion sense, or like I didn't know how to dress well, and I used to get a lot of shit about it from my friends. They'd be like, "What are you wearing? Haha, what a joke." And that honestly, over time, as it kept getting in my head, it got into my head that I don't know how to dress. So anytime I used to go somewhere like and fully decide my outfit myself, I would be very conscious of the fact that I don't know how to dress. And so my actions and the way I would, present myself was very underconfident because I was acting out of memory. My memory was fully influencing my thoughts, emotions towards how I was looking. Except that at some point I learned how to dress, and it was true that I didn't know how to dress. That's a separate fact. But at some point I learned, and that changed things. But if I did not have the ability to respond, then I would still operate from my memory and be like, then I wouldn't even be confident in the way I act and the way I conduct myself. It's that powerful and fully changes the way you show up and the way you act. The choice is always there to either respond consciously to the present or react compulsively based on the past. If you take responsibility for the way you are today, then there's a chance to have a better tomorrow. If you decide to blame your parents, your friends, something your teacher said in fourth grade, then you're just killing your own chances before the opportunity presents itself. Just understand this and take one thing away from this video is that you are 100% responsible for your own life and the way you are right now and the way you will be in the future. And if you accept that, it's the most empowering thing because then you can do exactly what you want. I found this very beautiful concept from the book. It says that it's like you're knocking on the door, you're trying to enter, but the door simply doesn't exist. The whole purpose of the spiritual process that's advocated in the book is that there is no door. Whether you choose to fly or remain in that cage is your choice. But let that be a conscious choice. One of the biggest problems that we face today is loneliness. If you enjoy being alone, that's different. But a lot of people seriously today are suffering from loneliness. Let's go back to this responsibility approach that we just spoke about. If you assume responsibility for your loneliness, if you say that, okay, I am responsible for the way I am, then you have the ability to go out there, make new friends, and to just put yourself out there. But if you say, I'm not responsible, don't even talk to me, then you can't even do anything about it, no? So being responsible simply means taking ownership of your own life. Sadhguru says that by taking responsibility, you're simply putting an end to the age-old pattern of assigning outward blame. Another beautiful concept that this book talks about is love. This is going to be slightly controversial, I can already predict it, but the book says that love has nothing to do with someone else. Think about it. Just like responsibility is an action, it's just a way of being. Love is not something you do. Love is the way you are. It's adding sweetness to your emotion. If you love someone and they move to another country, could you still love them? Yeah, my parents currently don't live where I live. If you love someone and they pass away, could you still love them? Yeah, you could love them. So you loving someone has nothing to do with their physical presence in your life. It's your quality. It's a quality that's already there within you. We just use another person as a way to unlock what's already there within us. So you're capable of being loving, blissful, whatever on your own without someone else being involved. Moreover, if you're in this state all the time, people will actually want to be around you. Quickly summing up everything that I said, how does one upgrade our inner technology? What's the first step to looking inwards? It's assuming 100% responsibility for your life and saying the statement that I am 100% responsible for the way I am and the way I am not. Your joys, your mysteries, your incapacities, your capabilities are all 100% your responsibility. And obviously, don't believe me, don't take my word for it, don't take Sadhguru's word for it, try it yourself. Take this idea that I am 100% willing and I'm 100% responsible for my life. As you approach your day, as you do everything you do, keep this idea in your head and see how the way you react to things and how life unfolds for you would change. Just be conscious of this fact and see how your life would change. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope it added value to your life. I think it's a little bit deep, but I honestly have been trying to do this, and this might sound like a lot of bullshit, but I feel way, way happier and way more relaxed in my life. And I'm still not done with this book, so we will have a part 3. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, I will see you guys next time.